So in June of 2023, I signed 4 new high ticket SMMA clients using Go High Level. And in this video, I want to kind of do something a little bit different because I don't tend to talk about me signing actual clients and the way that I actually do that and kind of my overall philosophy with that. And so I figured I would share this experience because the more that I interact with all of you that are in our community or the people that are commenting on the channel, the more I kind of realize, just how many things I've learned along the way that I really think can create a lot of freedom and peace in all of your guys' life with, I think, the way that I approach this business model. And I'm not saying, my way is the only way or that, it's the way I approach it like I'm somehow better. I just say, I say that because I hear kind of a lot of different things through messages and receive quite a bit of messages and just see the comments that are in this group and community. And, I think, I just feel like me kind of sharing this breakdown hopefully creates some sort of value for those of you that watch. So basically, to keep this really simple and concise, what I do is I help real estate investors find off-market deals. So if you're not familiar with real estate investing or real estate in general, an off-market deal is basically a property that is not listed on the market with a seller that wants to sell their property. So an example of that would be, let's say there's a property that a homeowner needs to sell because they have tenants being people that rent the property, and the tenants aren't paying or the tenants aren't maintaining the property, and that homeowner doesn't have a good relationship with that tenant or whatever it may be. And so they just say, I want to get rid of this thing. I don't want to, list it on the MLS. I don't want to have people come in and out and take photos. I just want to sell it to an end buyer and basically just get rid of it, right? And usually in those types of scenarios, those sellers are willing to sell at a discount because of the convenience and because of potentially the condition of the property. So what I do is I use Facebook ads and Go High Level to find these types of properties. That's all I do. I don't do Google. I don't do this, SMMA, all these other things. It's one simple snapshot, one simple offer, one platform, Facebook, and one problem to solve. And you can see here I wrote, my favorite part about this is how boring it is. And it is kind of boring from that perspective. And when I first started, I was young. I'm still young, but when I started this entire business model, I was pretty much, 18. So for me, there were a lot of things that I didn't know at that age. And one of those things was really understanding the power of systems and really understanding the power of standardizing things. Intellectually, I was starting to hear these things from the mentors that I was learning from, but I didn't really have it what I would call embodied, which is where there's full congruence between, my intellect, my mind, and my body and my action. And so it wasn't really embodied. And so what that meant was, I knew that, intellectually that, I should probably have one snapshot, one offer, one platform, and keep it as simple as possible. But I keep seeing videos from this guy doing this, or this person is saying they're getting success with this, and this isn't as fun anymore, so I need to, make something else, right? And so this led to a lot of self-sabotage from a business perspective, because I would create awesome systems and I would constantly either change them, I would react to what my clients would say, the leads suck or whatever it was, and then I would go in and try to change the funnel and change all the automations and really just kind of overcompensate for what the client was saying, and I don't think I was attracting the best type of client as well. And this is also a key component of this formula as well, is attracting the right type of client. And like I said, attracting, right? These are all inbound high ticket clients that, came to me, and I have, the images down below that I have to attach. This post actually got deleted when I was trying to record it. And so anyway, the point is that, when I had started this entire business model, I just would react a lot, and I had to learn a lot about myself. And, really the past 6 years of being an entrepreneur has been more of a, personal evolution for me to really understand who I am and understand my strengths, understand my weaknesses, and understand where I could potentially get in my own way. And so I'm very charismatic and very energetic, and I have a lot of creative energy. And so I've had to really harness and practice and create restraint in how I approach this particular business model for what it is that I want. Now, for new high ticket SMMA clients isn't a lot if you want to become a 7-figure, marketing agency, right? So that is not what I'm personally after. I love the way I've designed this business model, and the more that I've learned about who I am and what works for me, I love this. I love this pace, and getting a few new high ticket clients per month, and just the feeling that it gives me of like simplicity and peace and consistency and reliability, like that's what I love. And I wanted to make this video to kind of share, like I said, some of the my philosophy with how I've approached this. And I think part of doing that is because when I started this business model, no one created what I wanted to create, and so I didn't really know I could do it a different way, or it didn't have to be a certain way, and I didn't have to do a bunch of things that I thought I had to do, because the only reference points that existed were kind of these 7-figure agency models, and that I had to do this and hire all these people. And so yeah, I think I share this just to hopefully inspire you all to find what's going to work for you, not what's worked for me, because you have to be able to engineer your own success. And so like I said, this is a very boring kind of like thing. I'm not doing some crazy this and offer, and like I'm guaranteeing all these things, and I'm getting on the phone and I'm following up. I mean, like I said, I'll attach these messages at the end, and I mean, it's very simple, just one call. Some of them I didn't even see their face on the thing. It was just a call, and sounds good. I trust you. You came from a great recommendation, and let's do it, right? So because I've focused on results and really my reputation, I don't really have to compensate with a lot of these other things. And because of that, I'm limited, right? I can't, have 100 clients that I'm kind of working with per month, and I don't even want that, right? And so there's limitations with the way I've designed this model, right? But I've also simplified this stuff to be super tight and engineered, where, I mean, like I said, I'll talk more about this as we go, but it's very, very tight in terms of systems, and there's not a lot of time that I spend on these things. So anyway, I did all of this, right? Like this agency with and this is a 6-figure per year agency, by the way. This isn't affiliates, this isn't other stuff like that. So this is just one kind of source, and this isn't the SaaS either or anything like that. So I did all of this because of great results, and I'm going to talk more about that over here. But this resulted from great results I have a dead simple website. So if you go to newbreedinvestor.com, this is my website, and you can't even book now, and you'll see that in one of the, what's it called? Screenshots from one of the clients. But I mean, look, I have a dead simple website. There's no advanced, look, this, you guys can make this probably in a few hours. I have a standardized offer, so I just have a templated, contract, and it's just super simple. And then there's no hype either. Like, if you were to hear the calls I had with these people, I pretty much tell them, hey, it's going to take you 40 to 50 leads to get a deal from Facebook. And if you outperform it, great. I would love to use you as an example of what's possible. But from my perspective and my experience, it's going to take you 40 to 50 leads to get a deal. And in the first week, I've only launched one client out of these 4 campaigns. And so the only client I've launched, they already got a deal, and it's less than 7 days. So I just added the screenshots, and this is this is my client here, and this was this morning, and then this gets me more clients, right? So that's the power of great results. And I say this because it's like, I told that person, hey, it's going to take you 40 leads to get a deal. It's going to take you 40 to 50 leads to get a deal. And I even said it may take 3 months with this type of model, because we work with real estate investors, before you get your cash, right? And investors know this, right? But I tell people, it's almost like I do the opposite of hypes and the guarantee. And like I said, I'm not, this isn't a, $10 million business here. I'm telling you, this is designed for me to have a certain lifestyle and freedom. And like I said, I value peace. I value my creative space. I value my independence, and this is what this model does for me. So some people, they want to be the number one agency in the world, and I really couldn't care less about that. So for me, that is kind of how I position the how the system works. And so that's what I told every single one of these people, that, hey, it's going to take you 40 to 50 leads to get a deal. If you can, do more than that or convert with less, great. And here you go, 6 leads in, this client gets a deal. And this is the only client we've launched the campaign for. The other ones are going, or actually, excuse me, no, we've launched for 2, and then one's going live today. So I apologize. But they've both been launched, in less than a week, right? And I told them, hey, it's going to take 40 to 50 leads. And let's say you get a deal under contract, which is what this business model is for these investors. Let's say you get a deal under contract in the first 30 days, or maybe 2. Guess what? You're going to pay the ad spend. You're paying me. You're paying for the system. And, you may not get that cash for 90 days, 120 days. You may lose a deal, right? And then you're still paying for everything, right? So the point is that if you stick with this, it's going to convert, right? And you're going to make a profit on this system. That's for sure. I'll stand by that, But, without sharing the other dimensions that go into a paid advertising type of system, you're really just setting up your client for expectations that are not accurate, right? If you're doing e-commerce and you're helping people sell products online and you're great at what you do, you can actually put in $1 and get $2 later, literally that day, right? With real estate, with services, with selling a house, right? I mean, these are once in a lifetime decisions. So to go out into the market, put in $1 and think you get back to that day, it's just not even how real estate goes, right? So you have to know your market and know the dimensions that go into like your actual system. Because like I said, even this client who got their first deal in their first 6 days, or in their first, 7 days, I don't even know how many days it's been, less than a week, but 6 leads in, he's got a $20,000 deal, right? And I told him, I said, hey, I love this. I'm excited. I want you guys to keep producing great results. And I know we are together, but still keep that in mind. You may not get another deal for 44 more leads, and this thing levels out, and then, the numbers kind of do what the numbers do. So, these are all important things that I've learned. And, when I was 18 and I was getting in, it was just like, I was being told, Facebook ads are kind of the holy grail. And so I was just passing that along, and it was very innocent, right? But over time, I started to learn what that would create within the dynamic with my client. I felt all this pressure. And like I said, this is for me to make, 15, 25 grand a month, 80, 90% profit margins with just me, low overhead, virtually no overhead. And I'm just installing the same system and, coming up with new creatives, and that's it. The back end of the system works, right? So, when I set great expectations, people stay for months and months. And, I've had, clients that have been with me for 2.5 years on this thing and made a lot of money. So that's how I've been able to do this, because I've been able to keep clients and focus on them and get great results. And that's kind of that piece of it, right? So the process to doing this or getting here for yourself is getting great results. And obviously when you're starting, you can't just, I don't know, right? I don't know. I think I've always believed in the idea of getting great results, but I think the key thing to note here is get great results with clients that are capable of getting great results, because you can waste energy if you just focus on getting great results for somebody that may not have the capability to actually get great results and show what your service can do. And you may waste energy doing that, but you will never waste energy putting in intention and putting in high quality work for people that can capitalize on it. It's just universal law. You won't get, you're going to get in what you put out, right? And it may be later, right? When like all of these things that I share with you now are a result of me focusing on my client that really started this system with me together. And I just focused on getting them great results, refining it, making the leads better, learning what makes a great lead. And these are coming from those effects, or from those causes. These are effects from those causes. So you can potentially waste energy by focusing on clients that won't really maybe have the potential or the resources. Like if a client doesn't have the ability to spend what's needed to get great results, it's very easy for you to contract into that level of thinking. And then basically you're like rushing to get results and there's no space and you're just like super constricted. But when clients have the resources, the team, the experience, it's really just like you're incorporating a new lead source for them to close and convert, right? So I would say, don't only focus on getting great results if the clients that you're currently working with don't maybe have the capability to do that. But if you do get one amazing client that just has it, I would just go all in on that, because they know people. If they're a great business owner, they know other great business owners. That's how I believe all this works. So I know some people you focus on kind of getting more and more new clients, which in some way you have to, but over time, if you really just get great results, like, people will create referrals. And one of these even came from you guys basically here on YouTube or Instagram from a while ago. And so that's the power of getting great results and sticking with a niche. So if you've seen one of my other videos too, where I actually go to one of the properties that we found from this system, you'll hear me say that this business isn't like sexy, and this is not even what I intended on getting into when I started this business model. And so you can't plan and think your way through all of life and basically just know exactly what's going to happen, right? So I didn't just, people kind of, this is what I thought. It's like, you pick your niche, you standardize your offer, you go and you sell it, and you just scale it, right? And you can only really do that when you've mastered your emotions to some level, because if you haven't, which I hadn't when I started, it was like I knew the information intellectually, but I couldn't embody it and fully take action in congruence with that belief, because I had other emotional components that I had to work on and resolve for me to really allow my action to yield the greatest result. And so I say that because, when you focus on getting great results, it may lead you into different roads that may turn out to be successful that you didn't plan on. So you have to kind of use your own discernment on that. But being proactive with clients and providing great service. So I message my clients, every few days, and it's not like I schedule it. It's just intuitive for me to just make sure everyone's good, and not everything goes good all the time forever, and people go months without maybe a deal, and they lose a deal, or other things go on in their life. And that's just me being human to human and calling them up and talking to them, and just also, with great service isn't just how good I run the Facebook ads and how good all that stuff is. Like, that stuff is great. Like, I've spent a lot of time designing that snapshot that I use. But great service to me is like communicating with them, being proactive, making sure that they get what they need, and that I'm available and open for feedback, and making sure that they, feel like there's some sort of opening to hey, I'm not just when I started, I couldn't, like I said, this is all kind of from business maturity. But when I started, it was like I knew this standardized offer and all these other things that I've communicated, right? And so I would basically I couldn't hold that. So it was like, I'm just not talking to my clients, and it's just this is all I'm doing, because stuff comes up and people need other things or have other ideas, and that's just how business kind of goes. Well, what if we tried this ad, and what if we tried that ad? And I didn't want to allow any of that, because I wanted it to be so systemized that now I know how to maneuver that, where I can still listen to everything somebody says, but not break the system, which is a standardized system, a simple snapshot, and all the things that go into it. And I can still help them get a solution, whether it's, referring them somebody, or going out of my way to make an extra call, or ask my client if they know anyone, or whatever it is, right? And I think before I used to like, okay, it's super systemized, so what I say is the only way. But you know, um, as long as I'm being proactive and making the system better, I mean, it's Facebook ads, right? It's not going to just get the leads and deals for you and you do nothing, right? So that's how I focus on great service. And you almost saw Violet there, wanted to put her head on the camera. Um, and then, yeah, building your brand and your reputation, and not funnels and, all these different things that people think they need. And it's like, dude, this is the website, like, it's my reputation that people know of and hear of. And actually, one of these clients that signed up, basically I had talked to before, and he basically reached back out and said, hey, I was doing research about Facebook and these other things. And then he's like, and then I talked to someone I know and he recommended your YouTube channel. And see, so that's kind of the power of like putting in intention into your work. Because like, I could have never, if I was planning out my channel and I'm like, well, how do I get investors as clients? I would go like super linear. Okay, we'll do this, 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 and this. And obviously that may work, right? And probably does work, or in fact, it does work. But I'm saying there's no way that I could have thought that like somebody that I had already talked to would kind of come back to me because they were now interested after talking to somebody else that they know that recommended my channel. Like, I would have never like been able to plan that out, So great marketing and great things kind of just happen when you put the right ingredients together and you show up and you embody these other kind of laws of success. And so you can't just plan every little thing out and expect it all to just, okay, it's going to go exactly as I wrote it out, right? So that's that. And then lastly, last kind of two key things here is the onboarding. People in this group, message me and post about onboarding and trying to automate everything. And that's why I'm making this video, because I just see the effect of the content that people consume. That's my belief, personal belief, and how much confusion it can create for people in their business. And it's just like they watch these videos or whatever, and then they go and they're trying to like do all these different things. And onboarding is kind of one of those things I've observed where it's like, how do I automate all these onboardings and like systemize everything? And it's just like, I literally send one email. I get great results. I provide great service. I built my reputation. People refer me or people watch content, and I get actual investor clients. This is all client stuff. This isn't affiliate stuff or anything like that. I get actual clients today, and still run my agency from YouTube. I get clients from YouTube. It's not just for affiliates. So when somebody's a good fit and I know we're going to work great together, I literally send them one email, and it's like step one. Let me see if I can pull it up without, it showing the links. Okay, so this is the email I send. So it just says, hey brother, here are the next steps. Agreement. So this is a templated agreement. They pay, which connects to the SaaS configurator, and then they book the asset transfer call, which is like 10 minutes, where I get their ad account and that's it, and just kind of answer any little questions they may have before we launch. So like, that's it. There's no onboarding thing to fix or all these things. It's just like, that's it. The only thing not included is after this, I just invite them to Slack, and that's where I have communication, and there's just one simple channel for me and that client to talk, or their team members, and that way everything's clean and simple. So this video could kind of be boring if because there's no drama, and the more I've been doing some of these calls with those of you that have been booking consulting calls and just seeing messages and posting in the group, like there's an element of us that has to be okay with letting go of the drama. Like, it's weird that we would do that to ourselves, but we do. This is kind of where you get into deeper alchemy work and inner work, which for those of you that kind of know that world, I'm very, very much into that world. And there's just an element of this entire business model with Go High Level and things like that where you have to decide to not be addicted to the drama and really decide if you want to like create a solution, and if you're actually okay with like some peace and some tranquility and some simplicity. Because it's very easy to like look at this and be like, oh, well, we got to do this and do that, and what about this and all these things, and that's what a lot of people I see are kind of caught up in. And it's very easy to do that. It's hard to make this boring and simple and not have drama, and so you have to at some point decide. And maybe, like, I'm not saying everything is just always perfect, but I mean, the amount of like drama that I have is it's very much capped. It's very much capped from doing these things that I've shared. I don't ever experience like a fire. Oh my gosh, dude, I gotta wake up and fix this entire thing, right? And that's based on the model I've selected, right? Some people are here for different purposes, and I'm not here to limit any one person and do whatever they want, right? And, don't let this influence you to think that I'm not here to grow and expand and make a lot of money, because that is what I'm doing, I just know how I want to do that and how I want the ride to feel along the way. And I put in a ton of work, I put in a ton of hours, but I've made that commitment to myself that I don't want a drama-filled life, and that I am in control of all of my decisions. I can't always control the outcomes, but I can control the way that I relate to things and the way I design things. And if I don't like the way something's designed, if I don't like something I'm experiencing, I got to look at how I designed it and have no attachment to removing it if it's costing me something that I don't want. And that's really why I think I'm sharing this too, because I do believe there's a new type of model that one can create and kind of use what I've shared to inspire their own model with High Level and how you can do this. Because I love every day that I do this work, and it's enjoyable to me. It's fun that I don't have a lot of drama, and it's fun that it's just fun to me. And like I said, you have to really decide if you're okay with not having and not entertaining the drama. Stuff comes up for sure. There's challenges and things you have to diffuse with clients and talk to them and things like that. But it's just different when you consciously make the choice to not participate in the drama and not like make your own problems. I've seen quite a bit of scenarios through the group where it's just like there's like an addiction to these problems, and there's problems no matter what, challenges that always come up. Nothing's perfect. It's just I can say all this because like it's been my process. I've been there. I know what that is to have a clear plan and roadmap and clarity and simplicity and switch it all up because of my own kind of unconscious patterns. And so I wanted to share this with all of you because there's going to be tons of new features, go high level releases and launches, and I'm probably going to continue to document and share those with all of you, because I do believe you can use the features that are released to design your own model. It doesn't have to be ads the way that I do it, and you can still embody these principles and embody the way that. And it's like I said, this is not me. Oh, I know the way. I'm just saying, look, if you've tried some other ways and these other different methods or whatever, and you're just like, man, all I need to do. I had somebody message me the other day, and they're like, man, I've been trying to make 7 figures and make this huge business or whatever it was, and they're like, dude, I just realized all I need is like $5,000 a month, And if I could do that and replace my income and not work a job, I mean, that'd be an amazing start. And, that was just cool to hear that, like, somebody let go of what they thought they had to do because of how somebody else was going to look at them or what this other person is saying you need to do. And like I said, I'm here to continue to grow and expand and make a lot of money and inspire you guys to get better so you guys can make money and, really just support causes and do work that makes the world better. That's really kind of my end game here, and you can see that post in this group. But that's why I'm sharing all this information, is because, we need centered entrepreneurs that are grounded, that are doing great work and can eliminate the complexities and the drama so that they can show up and be in their gifts. We don't need everyone bogged down, chained to their desk, troubleshooting all these issues. So that's my belief, at least. And so I think the more you let go of, the more you release and not stay attached to, the more space you have in your life to get more clients or make content or do things that are more leveraged or do other things that have nothing to do with this, right? So that's my kind of belief, philosophy, whatever you want to call it, and I'm not instilling it upon anyone. It's just that's how I've gotten these 4 clients, and these are effects from years and years of work that I've done before. And I just, in some way, shape, or form, I've always kind of had that in me that knew, hey, I can really make this simple and efficient and clean, and I don't have to have the drama that I see some of these other people have. And there is a different way to do it, but I didn't kind of trust myself enough to fully do it. And now, the last 2 years, I would say I've been like kind of making my own model in secret and just rolling with it and loving it, So hopefully this adds some value, and I'll see you in the next video.